Well, tonight, during Hispanic Heritage Month, we are highlighting a trio of Latin musicians based in New York City.
Yeah, these are folks who have performed all over the world alongside some of music's biggest stars. Grace Gomez has their story.
The sound of the bass, the congas, and the piano filled up the National Jazz Museum in Harlem. It's the undeniable talent of Bobby Allende, Arturo Ortiz, and Ruben Rodriguez, music legends living in New York City and who have worked together playing for major music stars like Celia Cruz, Willie Colon, Paul Simon, Ricky Martin, just to name a few. Ruben Rodriguez grew up in East Harlem, also known as El Barrio, next to music stars like Marc Anthony.
There were a bunch of musicians that played with all the top bands at the time, you know, living in within a 4 or 5 block radius.
In the summertime, he would get to see those musicians perform on Lexington Avenue, including Tito Puente. Bobby Allende's love for music was family taught. His dad and uncle used to play for major music stars in both English and Spanish. His first major gig was just at 7 years old with El Rey del Timbal.
And then at the age of 9, I got to do a show with Buddy Rich. And then it just kept escalating from there. And it was one time I was sitting at MTV Unplugged, and I was sitting playing with Paul Simon.
Arturo Ortiz was born in Puerto Rico. He spent much of his youth studying music. At 24 years old, he was ready for a bigger challenge. He moved to New York City and booked 2 major gigs.
Playing with Willie Colon and going right there on a tour to Europe, and also start touring with a Brazilian pianist named Tania Maria.
He credits much of his success to his capabilities as a musician, which at times have allowed him to wear many hats. These 3 musicians altogether have well over a century worth of experience, and with all that experience, they worry about the future of the art they love so much.
If you go back 30 or 40 years, you will realize that the music back there that was supposed to be pop music and where they're playing on the radio was really sophisticated. Nowadays, it is so different. It is so simple.
47 years in the business. What's next for you?
I don't know. I feel that the future of what I do is probably in education. I do some clinics, workshops in other countries, you know. So mainly in Latin America.
As music legends and veterans in the business, they look forward to the day they can pass on the torch to the next generation.
If we don't unite as a whole, as a musician, as an industry, we will fall apart. And people have to understand that that's where the strength is, in the unity. That's where the respect comes from.
In Harlem, Grace Gomez, Pix 11 News.